Hello everyone, it's Vision, and today's video is going to be a remake of a previous video I've done ages ago. And while I feel that most of the things I've said in that video are still relevant today, I definitely feel it deserves a makeover, or at least an updated version with some new things. So, uh, a quick I'm just going to quickly talk about some applications of drifting. You can use it. Most obvious example is to use it while dribbling. Just learn how to dribble more smoothly and with more control. You can use it for bounce dribbling. Oh, okay. I'm rubbish today. You can use it for bounce dribbling. Let's try that again. That will do. And you can also use it to just generally make sure that positioning wise you're always facing the right way, because not only is the physical location of the car important, but where you're pointing is very important as well. So let's put the ball aside and talk about how you can familiarize yourself with drifting. So first exercise you can do is just to go in a straight line, turn in ever so slightly and hold drift. And just see what happens. The harder you flick in, the more likely you're going to spin out, and the faster you will spin out. So this shouldn't be too hard to get your head around, so I'll move on. Once you're familiar with that, add in acceleration, so lift off, turn in, then press on gas, and this time you probably won't spin out unless you flick it really hard like this. And don't add in boost, I'm just doing that to speed things up. But just step on the gas, so slowly squeeze it after you lift off. And lifting off when you have some angle cause your car's back end to kick out. It's more obvious with the more angle you have, and it's more obvious if your stiffness is low. If you set this up high, then you'll find that it changes how drifting looks. It also changes how flicks look as well. You look at this, although this will be more subtle, and then look at it like this, low stiffness. You can see that there's like a slight difference in terms of me just flicking around at low speed. But anyways, I digress. Let's get back on topic. Once you are familiar with that, and you're aware that stiffness will change how drifting looks, let me just stop this so not distracting. Okay, so it's time to add in steering. So see what happens when when you counter steer, which is when you're steering like this, the opposite way that you're turning, and see what happens when you turn in. So you'll spin, especially if you have gas. If you're not giving the car gas, then you might find that you get stuck at a certain angle like that, or you might spin if you flick it hard. or you might spin, and then the car will just swing back around like this. One of those things will happen. So with that out the way, the final thing in terms of basics, relatively speaking, will be adding in reversing, and as counterintuitive as that sounds, it can actually help out in some cases. So, in order to explain what reversing does when you're driving forward and drifting, I'm going to split drifting into three sections. So drifting at low speed, something like this. Drifting at medium speed, something like this. And then drifting at high speed, so something like this. Excuse me. So where reversing has a bigger effect when your speed is low. But if you're at medium or high speed, it will also cause your car to slow down if you have a little bit of angle. And the more angle you have, the slower, the more your car will slow down. As you can see, I had a little bit of angle, and it took a long time. This will take even longer if it does slow down at all. Okay, that should be obvious. And a little bit more angle. You'll also spin out, as well as slowing down really quickly if you counter steer. But even if you counter steer, it will be easy to spin out, so watch out for that. And once you're comfortable with, oh, I haven't talked about high speed yet. So at high speed, reversing doesn't have much an effect, even if you have a lot of angle. But it will slow you down to medium speed, where it will have to start to have more effect. And it'll bring you down into the low speed region, where it'll really kick on you, if that makes sense. So high, medium, and then low. Okay, I'll do that one more time. High, medium, and then it will butt. Yeah, okay, low. So hopefully you can see that. And then once you've got your head around this, it's time to add in steering. So if you steer, counter steer and reverse, it will usually kick your back end out. If you have a lot of angle, you only have a small amount of angle that actually still straighten you out, as you can see, especially at high speed. See? And the most interesting part is that when you turn in and reverse, so not sure if you can see that pretty well, but what it does is that it'll push your car back out, if you can see that. But you have to be really careful because it'll be quite easy to overdo it and lose control. So I recommend feathering the reverse so you don't overdo it. As you can see, it pushes your car back out, which you can do if you turn in too early. You can reverse and push your car out, and then try again, like this, around the wall. This will be quite tricky because again it is counterintuitive, and but once you do get the hang of it, you can really use it to really refine your drifting and also use it to help you turn around quickly, turn around on the spot like this. As well as just helping you control your drift just that much better. As you can see here. So. And in terms of the basics, that's pretty much it. On the wall, drifting physics are a little bit different. If you lift off the gas, you'll slide off, and your nose will typically point towards the ceiling. So you're wondering, oh, why would you want to drift on a wall? Sometime I might go up and drift back down after collecting boost. Sometimes I might collect boost on my way up to make a wall clear. Or sometimes balls behind me, and facing this way, actually turn on the wall quite quickly and try and play it. Instead of having a really wide turning circle, trying to do it without sliding at all, like this. The whole point of drifting is to tighten up your turning circle so that you can have more control and more it will allow you to actually get away with more things, if that makes sense, because it will allow you to be more versatile in the sense of being able to change where you're going very quickly. So you'll be able to probably go for more risky plays on the fact that you can recover more quickly using half flips and drifting. And just to wrap this video up, I'm going to talk about how to apply it when you want to try it out while drifting. So the first thing, to have it on the floor. I'm going to just try to drift alongside it, like this. Just keep it slow. Drift alongside it. You find that you're pushing the ball away, it's because that you didn't go far enough on the side. So get on the side and then just try to control it. Control your slide using all the techniques I've mentioned before to stay alongside the ball. And once you're comfortable with that, and if you're able to, get the ball on your roof. And then from your roof, if you want to use the drift turn, that'll be turnable. Have the ball on your roof, you want to drop it, and then drift. You don't have to drop it on the floor, like this. You can just drop it on your side like this. So here. So from here down to here. You don't have to have it on the floor, although it can help sometimes. And the most important thing is that you modulate your steering and your acceleration and your reversing if you're using that as well. So as all of these things combined is how you control drifting. It's not just steering, it's not just acceleration, it's a combination of both of those things, of how you slide and actually control it. So once you've gotten the hang of this, for fun, you can try and see if you can spin the ball still on your roof. Again, it's just completely for show. I'm messing up a lot, but it can be useful to help you learn how to control your drifts better, so that you can drift uh, in a straight line when you're spinning. Also teach you how to properly use like the reverse part of your reversing when you're drifting, as that can be quite crucial. And although it will take a very long time, or maybe it won't, but it'll typically take a while for you to get the hang of this, get the hang of the basics, if you haven't already started trying it. But the only way to go about fixing it is to just practice, but make sure you practice it doing it the right way, which is why I've put my controller inputs on bottom left. You can see what I'm doing. I'll also have that in all of my future tutorial videos as well, so you can see what I'm doing, which will help out a lot, I hope. And you honestly just have to try this out, see how it goes, and keep it smooth where possible. And the last thing I'd like to know is that if because of your key bindings you're unable to boost and drift like this easily on demand, then you might also want to consider changing that. That brings up the point, how do I press X and B at the same time so easily? I'm actually using a Xbox One Elite controller with 2 of the 4 paddles on the back. I have the top left for X, drifting, and top right for boosting. Although I still use the buttons as well, I just use whatever is comfortable for me, because it's good to give yourself options. Sometimes I use the left paddle to drift, sometimes I still use X to drift. Depends on what feels more comfortable and what feels right at the time. And you if you don't have a controller with buttons on the back that you can rebind, you can consider changing the face buttons, what they do, or you can put drift on LB, which is quite popular. Although I personally don't like that, because at least the way I hold controller, I operate acceleration, braking, and the left and right bumpers for with only my index fingers. If you use your index on the bumpers and your middle finger on the triggers, you won't have this problem. But that's not for me. That's not how I like to hold my controller. And that more or less wraps it up for this video. I feel it's probably gone on way too long for what it is, as it's mostly just meant to be an update to my previous drifting tutorial. Be on the lookout for more in-depth tutorials soon, as well as a new tutorial series I'll be doing, which will be separate from the in-depth tutorial series. It will be scripted, it will be more structured, and as a result it will be shorter and more to the point. But it will also be more discussion based to get you thinking about a particular concept or topic in Rocket League that that I think is important, or people have asked me to talk about. It will depend on how that series goes. But other than that, uh, I hope you found this video helpful. Uh, I hope you'll be able to incorporate drifting into your play to really smooth out how you drive, which will have a knock-on effect on how you dribble and how you play and how you position yourself, and also even how you shoot, how you line yourself up. And that's more or less it. That wraps up. I hope to see you in the next video. And other than that, have a nice day and cheers.